Welcome to MarketPod, your weekly pit stop for all things digital marketing. I'm Anoop, your friendly voice in the marketing maze. Join me as we chat about trends, untangle the web of new tech, and become masters of the marketing craft. We will crack the growth code together. Get ready for practical tips, inspiring stories, and real insights to boost your digital marketing journey. This is MarketPod, brought to you by Yearsong Digital. Let's dive in. Having worked in the industry for the past 10 years, I have been quite involved with the day-to-day, trend changes in marketing, using a mix of strategies and tools like trade networks and using of artifacts and something that catches the eye now. Like nowadays we call it like guerrilla marketing, right? But those things are as old as, let's say, Mesopotamian cylinder seals, if you know that thing. It was back in 3000 BC. Or let's say like the trade routes in Indus Valley civilization, right, dating back to 1300 BC. And coming from all that way to just a week back, since that time we are using Gemini 1.0 as part of Google Bard AI. I spent so long in the trenches, been reading and implementing old and new philosophies with more than 100 clients. It seems like I've kind of forgotten what the basics even are. It feels a bit weird when, I go back to the digital marketing arena and it feels like I want to communicate with the new audience, the people who are trying to join, but it feels like I need to work harder and try to figure out or maybe unlearn a lot of stuff so that I can communicate with them. And it felt like I have to, and not that I should, but I have to go back to the roots so that you and I as listener together, we can learn. Maybe I have to do some unlearning as well. And basically, if required, relearn everything. To be very frank, I was a bit hesitant at first because in today's era, if you see a new person on any podcast or internet or anywhere on social media, if that person pops up, the first thing that comes to your mind is, yeah, here's another dude, man. You'll just roll your eyes and say, yeah, another dude is trying to explain the internet, trying to come up with reasons why digital marketing is important, why I should get into it. I had this conundrum in my head. I had this issue. But I also know, having worked with so many customers, I think I've dealt with through my clients, I can easily and confidently say that I have, with the help of my clients, interacted and helped millions of people with one product or service or the other. And I know that the new generation is very smart, and I'm very confident that they identify and they appreciate the authenticity and honesty, and especially they are highly value driven. They'll know if any content that is available on the internet provides them value. And with this one, I can assure you that you will start to see digital marketing not as some magical formula. There is no magical formula. Trust me, there is none at all, but more as a journey of experimentation, learning, and growth. So that being said, let's jump right in. So digital marketing, if we talk about the industry, let me tell you a fun fact. It's a humongous $876 billion, which we are expecting it to be in 2026. It's a humongous amount, and to let you know how big it is, it's like 0.87% of the entire world's GDP. Now, putting that into perspective, there are only 21 countries out of a total of 195 countries which have a higher GDP than that. It means there are 174 countries whose GDP is less than what we are going to spend in digital marketing in 2026. I mean, that is absurd, right? So the conclusion is yes, the industry at least is all set. Now comes the next part. You, as an inspiring digital marketer, are you ready? So, to answer all the questions that you must be having inside your head, I will be covering a couple of topics that we'll be discussing. Number one will be obviously understanding the field, what it is all about. Then we'll jump into the actual questions. So, for instance, some of the questions will involve like how can you improve or build your skills and knowledge to, understand more about this arena. How can you find job in a competitive world where almost every other person is hunting for a digital marketing job? Then what are the major concerns that people face when they are looking for any opportunity? So let's address all these things one by one. First, let's talk about what the field is. If you talk about digital marketing, what it actually means. Again, I'm trying to put it in a perspective. So let's imagine there's a giant, ever-changing marketplace where there are hundreds and thousands of, and nowadays millions of brands. They're trying to grab your attention through every single channel possible. And we are only specifically talking about the digital channels, be it websites, be it social media platforms, emails, all those push notifications through your application. If you go to a new website for reading any blog, then you see some ads popping up. Basically, these are the strategies that digital marketing is enabling. And this is to implement this thing, we need people and specialists. So the next thing will be, what are the kind of specializations involved in digital marketing, right? So digital marketing overall has several hundreds of different specializations. I can, at the tip of my fingers, I can easily count at least 40 different job profiles comprising of both technical and non-technical specializations. But I'm going to talk about them maybe in a different dedicated podcast. But I prefer to segregate the entire digital marketing into two parts to make it very, very simple. First is inbound marketing, which includes anything, any lead or any traffic or any person who is trying to get in touch with the company which is delivering any product or service. So if you are seeing any content online which you have subscribed and they are not pushing out, it is part of inbound marketing. Any content on what you see on your Instagram, what you see on Twitter, which are being posted organically by any company or any individual, those are all part of inbound marketing. Then comes the other part, which is outbound marketing. So you must have, if you have not experienced this, you or your parents, someone, I'm 100% sure that they must be receiving hundreds and hundreds of calls at least every month, just asking, hey, we have a new insurance product, would you like to try it? We have a new savings or investment plan. All this kind of stuff, right? These are outbound marketing channels. Outbound marketing also includes all the advertisements that you see popping up everywhere you go, as we discussed earlier, right? So if you want these specializations that you can find on the internet will clearly say there are things like SEO, which is search engine optimization, which helps you rank up on Google or any other search engine. There is social media marketing, which helps you curate the content and then push it so that it gets more engagement and people interact with it, and then they try to consume your content, and gradually you turn that product or whatever you are delivering and attach a financial part to it. Content marketing, if you're creating any blog, email marketing, it's a different segment where you create a lot of emails and send them, or basically you subscribe to a newsletter and then they provide you with a lot of insightful content that you can read and improve yourself or improve your product or your business overall. And all of these things require specialists. So what are the essential skills that will be required to do this, right? In a nutshell, I would say you need to write like a champ, analyze data like a detective, and above all, stay adaptable like a chameleon. What it means is things are moving really fast in the digital world that we are living in today. And your ability to adapt and learn things as soon as possible and then implement those stuff are the key differentiators that make you stand apart from the rest of the competitions that you're going to face in your entire career path. Jumping to what career path will be, sort of what you can imagine or envision it to be. Maybe if you're starting your career, you'll start as a digital marketing intern or maybe an executive. Gradually, you'll move up the ladder, becoming an assistant or a senior person or team leader, then becoming a manager. And the end goal is obviously in this arena is to become either a chief marketing officer or a director of marketing or becoming your own boss and starting your own agencies. So overall, the possibilities are endless. But when it comes to career path, some people are very adamant about the salary ranges, which is a perfect question to ask and which is a perfect concern to have, because without money, I'm saying that no one is going to say, right, that money is everything. I completely understand, but money is extremely important. So when it comes to salary, although this could be very disheartening, but the fact is, in India, the overall wages as compared to the rest of the world is not very high, to be very frank. They're very complexity. There are a lot of complexities involved in why it is the way it is. But just to give you a basic estimate of how much you can expect. So as an intern, like for instance, you can get somewhere around 10 to 15,000 rupees a month. As a fresher, maybe this could go up to 20 to 35 or 40. If you're more experienced, then we are looking somewhere at around like even 70 to 80,000, and it can go up to 50 or 60 lakhs per annum. So as I said before, while we were discussing the career paths and everything, the possibilities are endless. And why am I saying that India does not have, even after having so much pool of talent and with the current population that we have, in first world countries, if I just make a comparison, freshers are expecting an average salary of like $50,000, while experienced are earning upwards of $400,000. So it's simply like leveling up in a video game. So the better you get, the more rewards you unlock. But it's very important that to make that happen, you have, or you at least start building the skills and knowledge that you need from somewhere. So what are the resources, right, that are available for learning digital marketing? Be it online courses, certifications, and I'll only focus on the free ones for now, since I'm expecting that you are a beginner if you are listening to this podcast. So some of them would be Google's Skill Shop, Fundamental of Digital Marketing. That's an amazing course. HubSpot Academy has a lot of resources available on their platform for free. Plus, it's a certification course. All these courses are certification courses, so you will get to learn a lot. Simply Learn has it. Digital Marketing Basics course. Udemy has it. And then you can also go for some niche companies like Ahrefs. They are also providing digital marketing courses. I'll make sure that I put the links to all these courses in the description of this podcast so that you can take a look and check them out. And if you are very interested, then please make sure that you enroll on all these courses and start. So, but the end goal, once you start it, right, everyone wants to understand what is the end goal. For example, in digital marketing, the end goal while you're working specifically and while you're improving your skills, the goal would be to have a very strong digital marketing portfolio. And how are you going to do that? So as I said, I have been saying it forever, as long as I can remember. And the first thing I say is, please start working from somewhere, at something, anywhere, with anyone. Obviously, that anyone has a lot of asterisk, but yeah, just make sure that you start working from somewhere. The second thing would be, whenever you are working, you need to be very, very, very data driven when it comes to results. So, for example, if you are into content, then within 1 year of your employment or you're working as a freelancer, how many content did you write overall? What was your overall productivity in that time? And if it is like SEO, then how many backlinks or co-marketing activities were you able to get? How many issues of the websites were you able to resolve as a marketing analyst? What were the suggestions that you provided based on the analysis of the numbers? And when they were implemented, what was the tangible result? So you need to get into the tangibility of things as much as you can, and that will absolutely be a huge contributing factor when you want to have a very strong digital marketing portfolio. Now, this is followed by another key thing which a lot of professionals do not pay much attention to. There could be hundreds of reasons why, but I wanted to overcome all those feelings and then be very professional with what I'm trying to say. Please ask for recommendations on LinkedIn from your colleagues, the ones who are there with you, working with you, and most importantly, the seniors that you're going to have. Wherever you are working, for whosoever you are working, please make sure that you have a lot of testimonials with you, and they will go a long way. And once you do all of these things, right, you will gain a lot of experience, not just the professional one, but actually how you need to work, what are the kind of problems that come along the way and how you need to resolve them, what are the different nooks and crooks of every single issue, right? So you need to gain a lot of practical experience. However, there's another side of the story as well. What if you want to gain practical experience in digital marketing, but without a job? And yes, there are options. So experience, if you want and don't want to work for someone in a 9-to-5 job, well, there are options, but it depends, right? Which profile do you want to work on? So, for example, if you want to work on content writing, if you want to be a content writer to start with, or a copywriter, or a social media marketer, all you need are the platforms that are already there with you, right? For SEO, for example, for content, you will need just a Word doc, or if you're working on Mac, you'll have notes there with you, so you can easily work on them. For social media marketing, you have all the social media platforms available. They are for free, and you can use them very easily. If you're doing it for a client, most probably they will be handing you over their premium accounts and their verified accounts, so you can work with them. So you don't need anything else or spend a lot of money. All you need are online courses, and you can just get started. Quora is one of the best tools or best platforms that helped me to get motivated about the fact that I could write content, and then people are reading what I'm writing, and that reinforced my thinking of becoming a content writer. On the other hand, when it comes to other facets like SEO, so for SEO, you need a website. So if you can shell out around 3,000 to 4,000 rupees in a year, I'm not talking about like monthly, it's a very nominal amount. I believe if you go to a couple of parties, you can easily spend 3,000 to 4,000 or maybe way more than that. So all you have to do is just get a website, get a hosting, and get started with whatever course you are doing. So this money you can invest in yourself. Same thing for PPC, which is pay-per-click, or the advertisements you want to run. For example, Facebook ads, Twitter ads, Instagram ads. I should not call Twitter nowadays, right? It should be called X. But okay. Anyway, so you'll need some funds when you are doing PPC, and these funds to start with, the beginner level will be the budget will be 4,000 per month or per advertisement. Sorry, per month per platform, and this PPC will require more investment for you to learn and gain practical experience. So apart from the usual tools that you are going to use when you'll be trying to gain practical experience, because when you are doing any online course, they will be showcasing the products, they will be showcasing the platforms, and apart from those tools which are available for free, what are the essential or other tools or platforms that you will need, right? Again, it depends. So to start with, so let's take a very easy example. Let's say content, right? You don't need to know anything. So as I said, all you need is just a Word doc or MS Word or Google Doc or even Notes or whatever. Then there are things like Grammarly or Copyscape to check your plagiarism and refine your entire document. So for those who don't know plagiarism, it's basically you need to make sure that your content, whatever you are writing, it is 100% unique and it has come from you, especially not from an AI platform or an article spinner. So these kind of black hat things are or have been used in the past a lot. So you may want to ensure that if you're writing something, then it comes out originally, because it happens. It's very normal that when you are using reference links, and it is a psychology, that when you're writing something by taking a reference of something, you tend to use those words. And when a third-party tool is trying to check if your content is unique, they will find those similarities. So you want to make sure that that does not happen. So you use Copyscape or Turnitin or Grammarly kind of tools to make your content 100% plagiarism-free or unique. You can use AI tools for ideations, outlining, and for getting relevant stats. So AI tools will include your Bard. I would strongly suggest that if you're using AI tools for statistics, try to use Bard for the latest stats, and always make sure that you double check the stats that you are getting from AI, because there's a thing called hallucination. If you want to learn more about it, do let me know. I'll create a separate podcast specifically for AI and what are the do's and don'ts of using AI in marketing. So we need to make sure that whatever answers the AI is telling, it is not just made up, because it tends to do that, and you have to double check it. So yeah, but those AI tools will also help you improve your or increase your productivity by at least 2 times or 3 times. That I have seen personally. I have with personally as well as with the teams that I work with. In advanced phase, these were the basic phases. So once you go to advanced phases, maybe you'll have to learn a bit more about the overall content management. So let's say you are publishing somewhere around 100 to 200 blogs in a year, and over the period of time, you have to optimize them and then refresh them, rewrite them, and edit them. So for that, you'll need a content management system if you're uploading it somewhere. So tools like WordPress, Drupal, HubSpot, these will be your go-to essential tools, and go-to and essential tools and platforms that you will need to have a good grasp of. Then comes to the image creation, which is an important part of content. Maybe you can try Canva, which is very simple. It's free. A lot of things are free over there. You can easily do everything or anything that you want to do with Canva. Or Trello is another example for that. Then you have royalty-free websites, for example, Pixabay, Unsplash, Pixels. These will help you get images while saving yourself from any future copyright allegations, because that happens a lot. If, for example, if you have used any image from Google or from any other third-party website, trust me, if you scale up and you grow to that extent that you are visible to someone or you catch their eye, trust me, they are gonna come with you with a lawsuit. So make sure that from the get-go you are prepared for that scale up part. So when you're doing whenever you are trying to learn or try your hand with any new technology, it's very important to stay up to date with what is happening, right? What is the latest trend? What is the burning technology that everyone is using? And to make that happen, it is very important that you have a clear-cut strategy or goal. So what I do personally and what I strongly recommend everyone to do is connect with professionals on LinkedIn. If you do not have a profile already created on LinkedIn, please do on high priority. Just create your really good profile on LinkedIn. Then add the people who you resonate with. Join online communities and groups there. And in this modern era, we can actually handpick from hundreds, if not thousands, of indirect mentors or role models. My favorite in digital marketing industry are Neil Patel. I use Neil Patel, or I check out Neil Patel and NP Digital for all the SEO activities and content. AHRS for the same. Moz for the same. Then for thought leadership, I go for Gary Vaynerchuk. Then there are other industry-specific mentors or industry-specific thought leaders who I follow via not just LinkedIn but Twitter, with Instagram, with newsletters, email newsletters. So I do that. But so you can basically reach out to me on LinkedIn. My LinkedIn handle will be Anoop Yersong, ANOOPYERSONG. So you can just search me there, and if you want, you can just reach out to me there, and I'll share a very comprehensive list of all the email newsletters, the name of the company, as well as the links you need to subscribe, all the social media handles, all the online LinkedIn groups and hashtags you should follow. Then not just on LinkedIn, but on Instagram, on Twitter, on Slack, on Discord, wherever you spend your most time. And then you can choose where you want to spend time, or what you want to spend time on, and where you want to learn. The end goal of coming into marketing is making the scrolling experience not just enjoyable, but helpful, personally as well as professionally. So that is my mantra of how I work and how I scroll my social media. But coming to the next part, which is, I think, the bottleneck of everything is you know how to do it, you know what needs to be done, what is the end goal and what not, from the learning perspective. But where is the money? So finding the job, right? So what are the kind of jobs and what are the salaries that you can expect? Again, as I said, it depends. There's a job for every digital marketing passions. What I was referring to, a whole list of all the digital marketing specializations. Every single thing has a demand. But if you want to take a look at the initial steps, which we are right now discussing, let's say content writer, expect somewhere around 2 to 6 lakhs per annum. It depends on your ability and your overall, learning. How many certifications have you done? How much emphasis have you put on the learning of yourself? Then the same thing goes for SEO executives, for PPC executive, pay-per-click, or the people who run ads, those kind of executives, for social media executives. So all these things, they have almost the same sort of range to start with. And I'm not speaking this for the entire industry and for every single company, but this is like an industry benchmark that we have in India. So my suggestion while you're finding the job would be, you have two options, right? You can just start any job and then kind of learn over there while you're working. But if you want a very systematic approach, I would strongly suggest that you join as an intern or a general digital marketing executive. Try to work on multiple projects with multiple people if you can, and then find your interest while you work, because trust me, you will only find your interest when you work. And when you enjoy your work, I think this has been said hundreds, thousands of times, but when you enjoy your work, it doesn't feel like work. And there's a reason why I love marketing as a job, because marketing as my passion or job or whatever you want to call it, because I love what I'm doing and I know what my forte are, what I can do the best. And that kind of thing, the feeling, you will have to imbibe, and you'll only do that once you're satisfied. So when you are hunting for a job, there will be multiple hurdles involved, right? The first thing will be interview. So how are you going to crack the interview? What are the basic steps for interview preparations? Now, I see the entire interview preparation and in just 4 phases. If I want to divide it, right? So step number 1 will be to create a really good CV and make a good profile on all the job portals. Now, for creating a good CV, I would recommend Novo Resume, Novo Resume, resume.com. Novo Resume is amazing. They have got really good templates and really professional ones. And with all the recommendations and everything, you can create a really good one. Initially you can create just a 1-page resume. That should be more than enough. But if you want to add more pages to it, then you'll have to pay a certain bit of amount. Then comes all the job portals. By job portals, I mean, and this comes to step number 2 as well, which is apply, apply, apply. That's the mantra. Keep applying on as many places as possible. I'm telling you, giving you a couple of job portal names like LinkedIn, Shine, IIM Jobs, Naukri, Times Job, Indeed. These are some platforms where you can just get started as soon as you create a CV and you create your own profile there. Then the next phase will be screening, right? The screening is part when the company goes through your CV, they think that you seem like a good fit, and then they reach out to you via call. So before that happens, be prepared to show your soft skills. Be prepared with your soft skills and make sure that when someone is calling you, you just don't tell them that you are a good team player. Give them a reference. Let them know with an anecdote what happened which made you a good team player. Then they're gonna judge you on the basis of your self-learning capabilities. So this you will not say that, hey, I can learn myself, I'm a fast learner and I adapt to things. But if you show them, at the same time you show them your certifications that you have achieved from all those, if you just do those certifications that I shared, those will easily make you like a top 1% of the applicants. That I'm 100% sure. So the next thing will be step 4 will be, once you are done with the screening and you showcase your skills, they forward your profile to your so-called reporting manager, who you will be reporting to, or any senior person who will be doing the final round before the HR round. So at that time, before that happens, and if you're through the screening, make sure that you research the company. And by researching, I mean just know about what they do and what is their industry, because this is the time when a high number of drop-offs or high number of rejections happen, because they are now testing you if you are ready for it. You need to practice a couple of answers, and those are very normal interview questions that you can find easily on YouTube. And if it is a one-on-one interview, or even if it is an online interview on Zoom or Google Meet or whatever, please try to dress professionally. It makes a huge mark, but this comes with an asterisk mark, because if you are interviewing for a TikTok focused company or a digital marketing agency, In that case, maybe you want to wear something cool. You can go with a t-shirt or something very cool. But yeah, you get the idea. So if it is a very professional company, then make sure that you dress up accordingly. What other things? Next thing will be to do and what you need to look out for. So everything. So let's say all these things happen, right? And then you move on to the next round. The question that will be asked maybe in the step 4 with the reporting manager or during the HR round where you'll be going for salary negotiation. At that time, one of the questions that they will ask, and I'm 100% sure that they will ask, is if you have any questions for them. At that time, that is the time when you need to make your mark and make sure that this is the company that you want your time to be invested in. So you need to come up with questions which will help you figure out if the company you are giving the interview for is a company that values your creativity, your learning, your growth. You don't want to join a gym, right, with broken equipment and really bad instructors. That's the same case. So you need to make sure that you have the right questions, and also these questions will also be, you can easily find a list of these questions on YouTube. There are lots and lots of HR professionals who create this. So yeah, be prepared for that. Then comes the final round before you sign the letter, is a salary negotiation. When you do the salary negotiation, make sure that you do your research, you know your worth, and be confident about it. And one thing that you need to remember is, if you are part of 1% and you have done all these things that I shared, you are bringing a lot of value and a lot of valuable skills to the table. And you need to be proud of that and be very confident about that. On a lighter note, if they offer you a free pizza or team hangouts or maybe beers every other weekend, you can maybe consider that company as well. But anyway, but jokes apart, I mean, yeah, just make sure that you do your salary negotiation properly. And once you have your salary, once you are done with your salary negotiation, you guys confirm on a number. Make sure that you run that document, the final document, the offer letter that they're going to share with you. Make sure that you run it through someone who is experienced. It can be your siblings, your friends who have at least 3 to 4 years of experience in the corporate world, because there are a lot of clauses that are also negotiable. Whenever you are doing salary negotiation, one important thing that you will be learning when you are going through the YouTube channels will be not to say yes right away. Go through the offer. When an offer letter is handed over to you, all you need to do is sleep over it, get it checked by a couple of professionals who you trust, and then finalize that. All right. These are the things when you are trying to apply for a full-time job role and where you want to work in a company, right? But the other part of the world where a lot of people are jumping into is like remote or freelance work, right, in digital marketing. So what are the overall opportunities in that part? If you talk about that, statistically, if you just go by the numbers, I have read multiple reports over this. So it has come from Upwork. Upwork is a huge freelance network, just like freelancer.com. Upwork is there. Then there were reports by LinkedIn, by Glassdoor, Indeed, and then there is a company called Statista. Statista curates a lot of data, and they are into market research and data-driven market research. That is what Statista does. All these people have posted multiple numbers from different sources, including their own. So they have different numbers, as I said. But on an average, all of them expect more than 30% year-on-year increase in remote digital marketing. So I'm only talking about digital marketing because overall working was somewhere around 40% within that range. And the ad revenue that we are expecting by 26 from the current 2022, not current, but last year 2022, is expected to increase by up to 50%. So that's a huge number, 50% increment in just 4 years. It's like, it's a huge number, to be very frank, if you talk to any trader. In digital marketing, if we go by the trend, content is at the top, and the demand for content writers and content creators, copywriters, it is at the top. It is followed by SEO. It is then followed by social media marketers, SMM, and then all the advertisers, which we call PPC experts. And from the company's perspective, all the companies, who are trying to hire these remote workers, the key advantage that they get is they get a global talent pool, right? And another important part which I love about capitalism is the fact that through this method, they are getting a lot of new people, they are getting a lot of talented people. At the same time, they are reducing their cost by a huge margin. The overhead costs or the operational expenses in business terms, it's a big amount of business expenses, and our companies are actually saving that. So somewhere around your overall CTC that you get, to put that into perspective, that amount comprises only 60% of the overall cost that the company is paying to get you. So they're almost saving, let's say, somewhere around 20-30% of the money if they hire remote working. There are other challenges from the company perspective, because there are questions raised about productivity levels and team coordination. But if we talk about the upside of everything, then for companies who are into agency-driven model and who are only looking for, they know what they want to get done from remote workers or remote digital marketers, then I think they are having a good time. From the freelancers angle, if you want to go that way, the benefits are obviously independence to choose your work schedule, work from multiple locations that I have done in the past multiple times, and the independence to choose your projects. So it's a good problem to have when you have tons and tons of projects, and then you can choose according to your bandwidth which one you can pick. So in a nutshell, you have the opportunity to learn how to basically run an entire business when you are freelancing and remote working as a digital marketer. But those are the upsides, right? Things are not black and white. I believe not. There are very, very limited number of things that are in black and white. So it comes with its own limitations as well. Freelance working. So majority of the things personally that I've learned and learned fast is through osmosis learning. Osmosis learning, if I want to put it, what it is you're sitting in an office. There are 3 people who are working on different things with different specialities, and they're working on different things, right? You get your work done, or whenever they are talking to each other, you listen to what they're saying, the problems that they're facing, and how they are trying to resolve those problems. So that in-person kind of osmosis and that learning indirectly, that lags a lot when it comes to freelance working. And as I said previously, freelancing is like running your own business. So there will be times when there will be income instability. So there will be a huge fluctuation in the income and your paycheck and new projects or clients that you can have. You may have client acquisition related challenges in the future. Then there's another problem that limited career advancements as compared to full-time employees, right? They will have tons of designations on their CVs, which freelancers will not have. And then operational wise, you'll have to deal with your legal and accounting things all on your own. Psychologically, you'll have to work on your own self-discipline and own motivation. You'll have to set your own targets and then reach those numbers within a stringent time period that you have to set yourselves. So basically, you'll create your own timetable, just like we used to do in the school days. Um, so summing it up, the numbers, if I talk statistically as well as qualitatively, the numbers are in both the courts. As per the surveys and as per my own experience, if I say that like 60% of people are actually satisfied or what we call as fulfilled with their overall earnings and work-life balance in freelance jobs, while 40% are unable to make their ends meet, right? It's a journey. It's not an easy journey, and it requires a lot of hard work. It requires a lot of dedication and ability to navigate both the rewards and challenges, right? They're huge. You are playing, in that case, a high risk, high reward game, and at the end of the day, you will become your own boss. As we were talking about the hard work, dedication, and motivations that will be required for not just for as a freelancer, but as a professional or as an employee where you work somewhere, there are other concerns that will be involved while working as a digital marketer or in fact any other profession, right? And trust me, this is not a field where everything is all rosy, and I don't want to paint a picture that is unreal. So some of the challenges that you're gonna face in the future will be like keeping up with the constant changes, or maybe feeling overwhelmed by the vastness of the field, or it may happen that you may come across, self-doubt. That is something that I have seen a lot of people do and a lot of people experience. But it's like, you remember when we were little kids, and then we were trying to ride a bike, right? It was tough. It was not easy, at least not for everyone. But you eventually figure it out, and it's the same thing. I mean, if you want another analogies, for example, you order a sub from Subway, right? So you want to choose a bread or a sauce. Now, the name of those sauces, when you hear them for the very first time: Chipotle, honey mustard, marinara, and I'm not talking about mayo, normal tandoori mayo, blah blah blah. Those are pretty understandable. But these sauces, you order them multiple times. You get to know what is good for you, what is not, which suits your palate, and then you are a pro for making a sub, even when you're ordering it from Swiggy or Zomato. And you feel like a pro when you're in Subway and you're ordering it there or getting it created right there, right? In a club, like when you go to any bar or a club or a pub, whatever, the cocktails, right? The weird names of the cocktails, when someone hears them for the very first time: Mojito, Margarita, Sangria, Bloody Mary, LID, Pina Colada, Cosmopolitan. Okay, now I guess I know a bit too much about the drinks, but you get the idea. So you don't know them at first. Maybe you see the menu, there is a long description about what the drinks contain, and maybe you have not tried all those drinks that they're putting in it to make that cocktail, all those ingredients, right? So once you get to understand the taste, the experience, you will fall multiple times. You'll fall, but if you rise up once again, just shed off your shoulders, let it go, move on, learn from your own mistakes, and just move on. That is something you have. If you have that kind of thought or a mindset, you're already past a lot of people in the race, if you consider this a race even. FYI, I'm a whiskey person, but I won't mind LID every now and then. It depends on the people, what kind of people I'm there with in a party. Okay, so going along the same line, so some other concerns that I have seen my coworkers or my juniors or my colleagues that they have come up with is overcoming like the fear of failure, right? This happens a lot when um, you create mistakes and then maybe you are yelled at and you feel bogged down. I mean, it happens to every single person. And remember this fact, even the most successful marketers, the best ones, have fallen flat on their digital faces at one point or the other. I mean, I remember the time when there was a campaign that we launched in EU. This was back in 2016, 17 or 18, around that time. Around that time. So I was running a pay-per-click campaign, and it was an omni-channel. By omni-channel marketing, I mean on multiple platforms at the same time. We were targeting a specific persona. So let's say there is a person, we want to reach out to that person through every channel, wherever he goes, be it Instagram, be it on any application, mobile application that he plays a game on, or he visits any website, he is on any social media, he'll see our ad, he or she will see our ad. So we were trying to run that omni-channel marketing because of an error, which maybe we can discuss in detail at some other point, or if you want to know, let me know, and I'll give you a more detailed version of it. In a night, or maybe in just like 5 or 6 minutes maximum, I lost 4,000 pounds in 5 minutes. That I remember. So 4,000 pounds is like 4 lakh rupees in 5 months. And trust me, I thought that my career was it. I am done. Once I received this information from my CTO, at that time I was head of marketing. I was head of marketing. At that time I was a digital marketing specialist, and I had not been promoted. Later on, I was promoted as head of marketing in that company. But till that time, I was digital marketing specialist, and I was reporting to the CTO of that company. And I thought that the next day, I'm gonna get fired for sure. The next day, my CTO, and I would love to take his name, Mustafa. He took me out for lunch. We sat down, ordered a couple of drinks and food, and we were having lunch together. And he just asked me, dude, what happened yesterday? And I was like, I know I up, but let me know what needs to be done. There will be consequences. And the one thing that he said was, I know you did your mistake. I hope that you have learned what happened, and you know that what happened. So consider this as our investment in you. And that was something that has stuck with me since that time. And he has been he's one of my for very few early mentors in my professional career. So it is very important that you get those people as well. Maybe you can find mentors like those and role models who share your background. And trust me, it is amazing to, if you can, and if you prefer, if you work alongside them and see how they do what they do, how they approach things, you can be the trailblazer for, the future generations. And yeah, if you need help finding a mentor, just hit me up. So I'm always there. I'm ready to guide you. I'll be ready to provide you with any assistance. And that is something that someone has done for me, and I won't think twice before doing it for someone else. Last, I would say, when you are, into a professional arena, the end goal is always to stay motivated. you'll have at times a lot of work to deal with. You may not have enough time to do stuff that you want to do apart from working. But if you are into that phase, and if you want to make sure that you enjoy that phase, then this is a heads up that I'm going to give it to you right away. That please, before you start anything, set very, very, very realistic goals. These goals will involve a draft of what you want to do in the coming, let's say, a quarter, 6 months, a year. I think to start with, that would be it. But you need to set realistic goals for yourself according to your personal ability, your way of working, your thinking, everything. That is your personal timetable that you need to create. And more importantly, which I'm a big advocate of, make sure that you celebrate your successes no matter how small. If you have written a great content and you get appreciated by someone at your workplace or by a client, that calls for a drink. I mean, seriously, dude, go out, have a couple of drinks, just enjoy that first appreciation that you get, and then set the bar for the next appreciation. Set a goal that, hey, next, when XYZ thing happens, that calls for a drink. And yeah, and then another thing that will be important would be surround yourself with positive people, supportive people, friends, and it is really important that if you are training for a marathon, you need the right mindset, right? And the right people around you, maybe the right coaches or the right colleagues who are trying to exert as much efforts as possible to get better every single day. So if you surround yourself with people who are either better than you, or at least have the same mindset of growth, then it is amazing. I mean, I can make a separate podcast for this, just talking about the surroundings and the kind of environment you need to set for yourself if you want to grow. So let me know that if you would like me to do something like that in the feedback form after this podcast, or again, as I said, just hit me up on LinkedIn and we can take the conversation there. Thanks for tuning into MarketPod. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember, the journey doesn't end here. Stay connected for more trends, tech talk, and growth hacks. If you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, shoot us a message on our socials. This is Anoop signing off. Till next time, stay curious, stay creative, and stay marketing savvy. Cheers.